Hi, it's Wes.
And Shonda. And welcome to Dink Life. In a continuation of our last episode, we are now on episode 3 of our trip to Japan. And we are drinking the same things because we take this at the same time.
Yeah. Just trying to get a couple done at once.
That's right. Our first full day in Japan, I think we crammed more in than any normal human being should.
Yeah. We jumped all over the city that day.
However, we didn't have a lot of time in Tokyo proper, so we wanted to see as much as we could, as quickly as we could. Having said that, our day didn't seem rushed at all.
No, it seemed pretty relaxed and chill the whole day.
Right. We did get up pretty early. We're morning people. I think we were out the hotel door by 8 a.m.
Yes, yeah. And actually, it was funny. I think that was the day we realized that the Tokyo Marathon was going on. And, we were looking outside and I would see, paramedics pulling up. And we didn't even have any clue that we planned our trip the same time as that.
Not only that, it started legitimately right outside of our hotel room. Thankfully, it didn't start till later in the day, so we got out of there before it got crowded and they closed any of the streets off. But in all of our research and timing, that was the one thing we failed to come across.
Yep.
So we had no idea that we were going to be there during the Tokyo Marathon. Out the hotel room door, the first city that we stopped in, wasn't really a city, it's more like a suburb, I should say, was Akihabara. We just hopped on the train. It was...
I think it was only 15, 20 minute
20 minute ride?
Yeah. It was pretty easy.
And when we got off, the coolest thing about the Akihabara station is that there's a milk bar in it.
Yeah, which is very weird because we don't really have a lot of flavored milks here other than chocolate and strawberry.
So, you get off and you think, milk bar? Who wants to drink a glass of milk? But honestly, it was the coolest thing.
Yeah, it was really cool.
They had all kinds of flavored milk. Some of them were even alcoholic.
Yeah, and they were pretty cheap. I would say max price was 300 yen. Most of them were between 100 yen and 300 yen.
Right.
Yeah, and they had all kinds of different fruit flavors, alcohol in them too.
I think mine was tropical fruit flavored, pineapple, guava, some kind of combination of that. Yeah. You do have to stand there and drink them. They come in glass bottles, which is also pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, they come in these cute little tiny milk glasses, or bottles.
They're tiny.
Yeah.
You drink them pretty fast anyway.
Yeah.
So then we headed out of there and we found a Starbucks so we could get some coffee.
Yeah, which we do have to suggest if you do have a Starbucks there, it's really better just to drink your coffee there because once you leave that place, you won't have any trash can to throw away your cup.
Correct.
And you can use free Wi-Fi the whole time while you're there too.
As clean as that city is, and I don't know how they do it, there are no public trash cans.
Yeah.
So then from there, we walked outside and made an actually unplanned stop at a department store called Yodobashi. The only reason we stopped there was because it clicked in my brain that I had seen it on a vlog, and I was like, this place is supposed to be crazy. We should go in. Yeah. Also, we were looking for an AirPod battery.
Yeah, and we actually got there right when the store was opening, and there was kind of a line outside and a whole thing with a security guard kind of holding everybody off to wait until the store opened. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, and then he made an announcement and bowed, and then everybody just kind of rushed in. It was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it was cool.
So we got in there, and I kid you not, there were 9 gigantic floors of everything you could possibly want.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything you could go in there and be like, I want this, and they didn't have it.
It had alcohol. It had gaming chairs. It had
clocks.
Yeah, clocks.
I needed a lint
watches.
roller. We needed a battery.
Yeah.
There were toys, clothes. The upper level was a food court.
Yeah, it has machines we don't even have in the United States for doing clothes.
Oh,
there.
yeah. Major appliances.
Yeah.
Housewares.
Bidet seats.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was so overwhelming, but it was so cool at the same time. I want to say it would sort of remind you of a Walmart, but way better.
Yeah. And just overwhelmingly filled with signs.
Yes. They love their signs over there.
So many signs and colors. It was a really cool store. I really liked it.
I highly recommend, listen, I know everybody doesn't want to go to a department store when you're in Japan, but I'm telling you, Yodobashi is the place to stop.
Yeah, it's worth the experience.
Even if you're not there to buy anything, it's cool just to look around.
Yeah. We were maybe there like a half hour, but it was really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. We left there and we sort of just wandered toward downtown, and that's when we ran into the marathon.
Yeah, we were actually trying to go get to Super Potato. We were going to go there next, the arcade store that everybody says is really cool, but we actually couldn't get to it because of the marathon and it blocked our route.
Yeah. So we just wandered around for a little bit looking into various stores.
Yeah, we stopped and did a couple gachapons, and I think we went through a Taito arcade there that was kind of neat to walk through once. We didn't play any games, but then, yeah, we did go over to lunch.
We had lunch at a place that we found on a vlog, actually, called Gyukatsu Motomura. What it was, they only serve one thing.
Yeah, only one meal you can pick from.
They serve pork cutlets.
Yeah, and you can the only thing you can change on it is how much meat you get.
Right, so you can either get 1 cutlet, 1.5 cutlets,
or 2.
Or 2 cutlets. They come already sliced up, they're raw and breaded, but you cook them at your table. It was really kind of cool.
Yeah, on a little like heated stone that they had a flame underneath.
But it was amazing because it came with like a cabbage salad. It came with a couple of sides, a bunch of dips, and it was just incredibly tasty.
Yeah, it was really good. We did, though, I have to say, we got there like 15 minutes before the place opened, and there was already a line.
Over there, if there's a line out the door, it's a good place to eat.
I have to say, though, that place was not fast. So if the line got very long, you could be sitting there for a very long time. And I just don't know how much time you have on your vacation.
Right.
So we kind of lucked out and got it exactly at the perfect time to get in there. And then even then, I think the meal, we were in there for almost an hour. It wasn't like a fast meal.
I would recommend going as soon as they open if you're in the area.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was one of our favorite meals from the whole trip.
I would say so.
Yeah.
And one other thing I should mention, I ordered a beer with my lunch.
And I did have a highball, which is like a very popular drink there, just whiskey and soda.
They even have them in cans at the convenience stores.
Yeah. Yeah.
After that, we left Akihabara and we headed to our next stop, which was Shibuya. Many of you might recognize Shibuya as it has the busiest crosswalk in the entire world. It's been in many movies and TV shows, things of that nature, and I will tell you, it was busy. I mean, even if you've been to New York or Hollywood, this place was crazy busy, but very organized. Nobody bumped into us, nobody ran us over, nobody was pushing and shoving. It's all very orderly, which...
Yeah, it was a really neat experience just to see that intersection everybody cross, and it just looks like a bunch of people smacking into each other, but everybody kind of goes their own way.
So we didn't really have any hard and fast plans when we were in Shibuya.
No, we actually were looking for an all-you-could-eat candy store there, but we never did find it. We found the address, but it was like there was nothing there, so I don't know where it was. If it was up a floor or in a basement somewhere, but we couldn't find that place. Yeah, we kind of just circled around. There's lots of shopping and stuff there. And then we kind of ran into like a high-end shopping store there.
Shibuya Scramble is what it was called. There's a sky deck at the top of it, but it does cost money, so we decided not to go that day.
Yeah.
Just because we were kind of trying to get to a lot of different places and we didn't want to spend too much time in any one place.
Yeah.
One other thing that's in Shibuya, if you are looking for something to do, there is a statue of the dog Hachiko, which I don't know if a lot of you know this story or not, but apparently this was a dog who was extremely loyal to its owner. The owner died, and the dog would go sit outside of the train station every single day and wait for the owner to come home. It's kind of sad, actually, but they do have a statue there in tribute to him, which it's kind of a cool little memorial.
Yeah, there was quite a line just to get photo ops.
Yeah.
And we stopped there just because we're dog people, so we wanted to see it.
Right, exactly.
So one other thing about Shibuya is, I mean, I guess depending on if you're in the shopping or what there, I don't know if you need much more than a couple hours really in that area. At least that's how I felt. I heard it's very cool to see at night, which we did not see at night.
I would agree. And from Shibuya, we moved on to Harajuku, which might sound familiar to you if you're a big Gwen Stefani fan. She was into that whole look for a while. But it's actually like a really trendy, like hip happening place. I would say for the locals, it's mostly teenagers and college-age kids.
Yeah. Very young.
There were a lot of tourists our
age.
age. Locals, it's mostly younger kids, teenagers, college-age students that it caters to. And there's just one main strip going down the middle of Harajuku as soon as you get off the train. I mean, you cannot miss it.
Yeah,
You
it's pretty
cannot
much
miss
right
it.
across from the subway station.
Yeah. You walk off the subway, you cross the street, and you're on the strip.
Yeah, and everything was pretty much right down that main strip, and it is packed with people when you get there.
In fact, we have a picture of that as well. One of the first things we found when we got there, which just warmed my heart to no end, was a dog cafe. Now, I had heard about all of these different kind of cafes. Obviously, there's cat cafes, dog cafes. Somebody told us there was an owl cafe.
Yeah.
We ended up going to a pig cafe, which we'll talk about later. But this day we found the dog cafe. So of course I had to go because we have 2 dogs ourselves and I was already missing them like 2 days into the trip. We went into the dog cafe. It wasn't terribly expensive.
No, we didn't have to even wait too long. We only waited maybe 10 minutes to get
Yeah,
in.
about 10 minutes, and you pay by the half hour. And additionally, you know, they have on little add-ons, which of course you can't say no to. Did I want to buy a bowl of shredded chicken to feed the dogs? Of course I do.
And while you are in there, you do get free beverages. They give you very small, like 8-ounce cans of pop. But you
As
can
much
get
as you
as
want.
many of them as you want while you're in there.
We spent about a half an hour in the dog cafe, and it was a pure heaven. If you're a dog person, I highly recommend going.
Yeah, it was really awesome. It's all, for one thing, it's all small dogs. No
Right.
big dogs. We actually really hardly saw any big dogs in Japan.
Right.
But yeah, it was, if you're into small dogs, awesome place.
From there, we just kind of wandered around the streets of Harajuku, wandered in and out of a couple shops. There's pretty much anything of the kawaii culture, which is a way of dressing, that you could possibly think of. There is food, like in every other storefront. There were, you know, strawberries on sticks, potatoes on sticks.
Oh, yeah.
You know, chicken covered with cheese. Anything you could, crepes, anything
Yeah,
you
there
could
was all kinds of
possibly
stuff.
imagine, there was food there.
Yeah, tons of different food options.
Tons of food and tons of stores. And this is where our obsession with Gashapon started.
Yeah, there was a big, huge Gashapon store there, and that was our first time going into one. It was multi-levels.
In case you don't know what Gashapon is, here in the States, it's sort of equivalent to gumball machines,
Yeah.
only 100 times better. The
Yeah.
product inside is like miniatures of anything you could possibly imagine. Houses, food, cars, pets.
They have Japanese thermostats.
I mean, honest to God, anything that could be made into a miniature was
they have
made into a miniature.
Horse racing gates, it was the weirdest stuff.
And these machines are stacked floor to ceiling,
yeah.
rows and rows and rows. Some of these stores had floors of them. I kid you not, when we first walked in, I was the one that was like, I'm not doing this. This is stupid.
Yeah. And
However, by the time we left Japan, I think we spent roughly $50 buying Gachapon balls.
They were really fun. It was cool. Yeah, each machine kind of has its own little collection of items too. So you're only gonna get one out of it, so you can keep trying over and over to get an item out of it.
Now, they ranged in price anywhere from 100 yen to 500 yen.
Yeah.
So none of them are very expensive.
No.
One other really cool thing that was in Harajuku, at the very end of that busy street,
Yeah.
up to the left, is a 3D billboard.
Yeah, and it's one of the ones where it kind of curves around the corner a little bit so they can do stuff on the screen and it looks like it almost pops out.
From there, we headed back to our hotel. It was getting toward dinner time, and we wanted to clean up a little bit. And we wanted to go find this place to eat in Shinjuku that we had seen on someone else's vlog. Now, this is going to shock you, but it was an Italian restaurant. Yes, that's right. We ate Italian food in Japan.
Yeah. Called Attachment.
Place was called Attachment. Now, the one thing here I will say, nobody spoke English. But having said that, again, there's pictures of almost everything on the menu.
Yeah.
We knew exactly what we wanted because we had watched a
The
vlog.
vlog, yeah.
So we were going in for something called lava pasta, which we have a video of that here as well.
Yeah. I do have to say, this place, some places do have some English menus. This place has no English menus.
No.
So we basically, even when we wanted to try to figure out what we needed to drink, we had to use Google Translates to do it.
That we didn't have trouble ordering anything by the time we translated the things on the menu.
Well, in this place you actually ordered, so they came out, and I think this one they stuck it was basically a piece of paper with a QR code at the table, and then that was basically a QR code that identified just your table. Then you would shoot with your phone that QR code, and you had a paper menu, but when you actually went to order your food, you would order it inside the, it just basically went to a web page, and then you would order your food, we put in like 2 lava pastas, 2 drinks, and then I think you got a salad too. You hit send, and then you kind of just wait there, and your drinks show up, and then eventually your food comes by.
So once again, just proving that the fact that no one spoke English wasn't really any sort of barrier for us.
No.
As long as you have Google Translate, I think you're fine. Anyway, that place was delicious. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, and it was a cash-only place too, but it was pretty much easy once you were done. You just took that QR code up to a register, and you just pretty much, you paid right there. And then it was funny too when we went to go leave the place, like everybody, this was one of our like first few nights, like everybody just got so excited when you'd leave a place and like go like open the door for you or thank you for being there. It was really cute.
Yeah, it's a very polite society. On the way back to the hotel, we found a street called Shin Okubo, which has been described in other vlogs as the newer version of their Golden Gai district. And really, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, or I think some people call it Korean Town too there.
So it was the same little, tiny little bars with 5 to 10 seats in it.
This seemed more focused on like lots of street foods. Yeah,
right.
More focused on food.
We didn't go in anywhere because we had just eaten and had some drinks with dinner, but it was cool just to walk down the street. We did walk past one place that was serving horse and whale, which if you're not used to eating that sort of thing is a bit shocking, but that's just one of the perks of going to a different country. You experience their culture. That night on the way back to the hotel, we did stop by that craft beer bar again, and there were some seats open.
Yeah. It's called Shinjuku Ale is the name of the place. And they did craft their own beer. I think that's all they had was their own craft beer on tap. They didn't have too many, maybe 5 beers total?
Something like that.
And they kind of just went the variety.
And they had liquor too, so they could make a drink.
Yeah. And everybody was super nice inside.
Yes.
Even when we went to go leave this place, I remember the guy, since I'm kind of tall for there, 6 foot, he made sure that I didn't hit my head on the door when I walked out.
So that was a very busy day. Literally packed all of that into one day.
Yeah, we did a lot.
But we were back at the hotel by like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
It really wasn't that late. And I don't feel like we rushed through anything. One thing I will say is that all of these little, I think they call them prefectures. I could be wrong, but they're like little suburbs.
The suburbs, yeah.
Are all fairly similar. I think you need to check them out at least once, for sure.
Yeah, just to get a feel for them.
Get a feel for them. But, if for some reason you can't make it to all of them, just know that they're all fairly similar.
Yeah.
That was our first full day in Tokyo. And that was about all we did. Then we just kind of went back to the room and went to bed. So again, just our tips and tricks for the day, our suggestions, a couple of prices on things, just in case you wonder what they are. Again, if we splurged, we'll tell you. But mostly we're kind of thrifty people. As always, we just want to say, whatever you decide to do, just get out there and do it.